Coffee with Tim Black. All right. All right. There we go. We good. Okay, guys, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tim Black. I spent the better part of the morning preparing a number of stories that I wanted to do for this Coffee with Tim Black show, knowing that there's so many people that are out, that are home, who aren't at work. I felt like, you know what, it's time to get the coffee show really back to popping, make sure people know what's going on in the world. And then something came and changed my entire scheme, right? Bernie Sanders has endorsed Joe Biden. He has endorsed Joe Biden. Let's go ahead and listen to what Bernie has to say about this endorsement, why he made this endorsement, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. How about that?
Than that. So we are in a terrible moment, an unprecedented moment, and I know we share the understanding that we've got to go forward right now and out of this in an unprecedented way to address the terrible pain that so many of our fellow Americans are feeling. So today I am asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse, to make certain that we defeat somebody who I believe, and I'm speaking just for myself now, is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country, a president, and you made this point, who downplayed this pandemic, who ignored the advice that some of his people were giving him, who has not used the Defense Production Act early on so that we could produce the masks, the gowns, the gloves, the ventilators that our medical personnel desperately need, who today, because I understand that is threatening to fire Dr. Fauci, who has been an unbelievable, who has been day after day the voice of science to the American people, trying to explain how we go forward in this crisis. And he's threatening to fire him. So to me, for all of those reasons and so many more, a president who apparently has never read the Constitution of the United States, who believes he's above the law, a president who lies all of the time, a president who has at least shown me that he is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe and a xenophobe and a religious bigot. I mean, for all of those reasons or more, we've got to make Trump a one-term president, and we need you in the White House. So I will do all that I can to see that happens, Joe. And I know that there is an enormous responsibility on your shoulders right now. And it's imperative that all of us work together to do what has to be done, not only in this moment, but beyond this moment, in the future of this country. And in that regard, I have been very pleased that your staff and my staff have been working together over the last several weeks to coming up with a number of task forces. These are task forces that will look at some of the most important issues facing this country. The economy, how we create an economy that works for all, not just a few. Education, how we create the best educational system in the world for all of our people. How we deal with climate change, which, as you indicated, is an existential threat to the planet. How we deal with criminal justice, because we don't want to continue having more people in jail than any other country on earth. How we deal with immigration reform, and how we have a healthcare system that is so much better than what we have right now. Now, it's no great secret out there, Joe, that you and I have our differences, and we're not going to paper them over. That's real. But I hope that these task forces will come together, utilizing the best minds and people in your campaign and in my campaign to work out real solutions to these very, very important problems. So look forward to working with you and bringing some great people into those task forces.
Well, Bernie, I want to thank you for that. It's a big deal, I think that your endorsement means a great deal. It means a great deal to me. I think people are going to be surprised that we are apart on some issues, but we're awfully close on a whole bunch of others. And I think you've made. If I am the nominee, which it looks like now you just made me, I'm going to need you, not just to win the campaign, but to govern. And so, do you have any questions for me, Bernie, at all?
I did, Joe. Let's talk about some of the areas that I think we are actually fairly close. There are some areas where we disagree, but some where we are fairly close. Let's talk about the economy. And above and beyond the crisis that we're in right now, very well that millions of our people are working for starvation wages. And one of the fights that I've been waging for a number of years now is to raise that minimum wage to at least $15 an hour. Is that something, Joe, that you are supportive of?
Bernie, I am extremely supportive of that. And I thank you for leading on it. I thank you for your endorsement, your support. But it means a great deal to me personally. As I said in my statement when you suspended your campaign, I want to thank you for being the powerful voice. And you
Okay. That's going to take a while for I, can actually wrap my head around exactly what just happened there. But it is what it is. It appears Bernie has definitely, it doesn't appear. He did it. He endorsed Joe Biden today. Yeah, he gave Joe Biden his endorsement. He cited reasons why he would do so. You know, and I think it's only fair to say maybe he believes. You know, if maybe he believes that Trump is a terrible menace to government, to our country, and maybe he does believe in his heart of hearts that Joe Biden was a better option. I'm having a hard time understanding. I have a hard time coming to that conclusion. Put it that way. I don't know if I feel the same way. At least if it's Trump that's screwing this over, we'll get some support from the media in correcting his ass or challenging him. But if it's Joe Biden that's screwing this over, they'll act like nothing's happening, very similar to how they did when Obama was in office. And still to this day, I can't even mention the travesties, inequities, bad calls, lack of attention that Trump that Obama and Biden paid to certain issues that I care about without people defending him. Because we have a media that won't allow Democratic candidates or Democratic presidents to be held accountable. So the fact that we have that, I hold very little trust that a Biden presidency would be much better than an Obama presidency. In fact, that's all Biden's been campaigning on, bringing things back, taking it back to the way it was. So we got, if you say Trump is a step backwards, instead of moving forward and making a correction and moving in a better direction away from these issues, away from the past, we're just moving back to the past. So, look, what I'm not going to do is beat up on Sanders. I mean, if you're watching this live stream thinking I'm going to turn into some other people, I'm not going to. I don't care what an inside person on the campaign has to say. I was going to cover that. The leaky faucet within the Bernie Sanders campaign that keeps talking to others who hate Bernie. As if that's an informative way to get Bernie to do something different. But that's neither here nor there now. That's neither here nor there now. But I will be reporting on it later. It's not here nor there now. I think it deserves to be reported on. And if you won't respond to my emails and my questions, I'm just going to assume I'm correct, and we'll just move forward with that. But back to Joe Biden, and really back to Bernie Sanders. Look, I take you at your word that you feel. I take Bernie Sanders at his word that he feels that Trump is an existential threat. He says it so often, he must believe it. I believe that Donald Trump had a lot of cuts in the budget that impacted poor people, working people, that I have a very deep issue with, that somehow gets ignored by many that I don't ignore. So I think there are issues with Trump that need to be addressed. Is to pretend that this is all, like this is a knockout the box, or to pretend that there isn't something to discuss here. It's kind of whack, because there are things to discuss. Everybody out there who has a vote, if you get to cast your vote, if you exercise your right to vote, I know some people won't. No reparations, no vote. I get it. Well, there's an equal amount of people going, no Medicare for all, no vote. There's an equal number of people going, no Medicare for all, no vote. So let's look at exactly what was said here. So there's some task forces that were set up that have been working with the Sanders and Biden campaigns working together. Okay? Great. That's good. Okay? That's good. They're on the issues of economy, education, climate change, criminal justice, immigration, healthcare system. Couple other things there too. These are the ones I listed. Okay, so that's great. We're working on the task force. Okay, so Bernie Sanders, what? You outlined the $15 minimum wage. Great. Okay, we support that. In fact, we support more than that. We think some places, some areas of the country, $15 won't leave you living indoors. 15,000 an hour is good some places, not so good some other places. But it's a start, okay? It's a start for people to have a basement, a level floor, a floor that they won't fall too far underneath, that'll keep them above the poverty line. So I think that's great. I think a person who works 40 hours a week should not live in poverty. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. So I like the idea of a task force. I like the fact that it started earlier, before the endorsement. I know most people, I can only speak for my people, me and my people. I think that I feel strongly that the fact that you were talking with him about this task force, that there's been some negotiations, that's good. That means you're getting something for this endorsement. I also find it interesting, guys, very interesting, that Joe Biden said, I not only will need your help to win, I'm going to need your help to govern. He said, hold on a second. He said, not only will I need your help to win, I need your help to govern. Does that sound like Joe Biden may be offering Bernie Sanders a position in his cabinet? And if Bernie Sanders is a part of the administration, does that change anything for folks? See, I'm torn up about that part now, because that is important. That would be important that we have someone with some type of moral compass as far as what working people need. What's good for working people, what's good for poor people, what's good for people trying to get to middle class. Some people say, Tim, we don't even have a middle class anymore. We just got to have the have and have-nots. And there's varying levels of have-notness. Okay? So, okay. But if Bernie Sanders is given a seat at the table with Biden, does that change opinions? I had to think about that. Like, I never really considered it as an option. Using 2016 as sort of a template for this, I just looked at, well, Biden's going to bring his people in. It'll be more swamp creatures, and he'll pay lip service to issues. But if we have Bernie in there as well, and we have task force on certain issues, what does that mean? And it sounds like, okay, it's going to take some time for me to kind of unwrap this, unpack it, sit it on the table, look at it all. But I got to tell you guys, like, my knee-jerk reaction, like, just from the break, from right now, just watching the clip, just before going to air, then playing it for you guys, how do I support a candidate who I don't trust? It's difficult. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you feel the same way. Like, if I don't trust this mofo, then nothing he says matters. You can say you'll do anything. You can say you will, reduce carbon emissions, and you will end fracking tomorrow, the first day, on day one. But if I don't trust that that's something that you really want to get done, that's something that you have made a commitment to yourself personally, damn your donors, forget the corporations. Like, if I don't feel that, as hard as it is to get anything done in this country, for us, I mean, if rich people want it, it'll get done. But if we want it, not so much. So as much of moving of hell and high water you'd have to do to get anything done on behalf of working people that the oligarch or the powers that be don't want done, as hard as I know that's going to be, I find it very difficult to trust that Joe Biden will go to the mat for us in any capacity other than around the edges on shit that, kind of melts when you take the wrapper off. I mean, we're talking about a guy who didn't run on anything. I mean, what did Joe Biden run on? He ran on nothing. He's elusive. He's running on whatever he thinks it'll take to win. Like, that's his campaign. That's his motto. I'll say whatever you need me to say to win. Okay? And then that's it. I almost prefer Trump. Honestly, guys, at least he'll say no. right? Like I don't know if I'm look. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I believe that. Okay, I'm not saying I like it better. And we gotta. I don't want to say I like a guy better who will cut all social programs, because Biden's not gonna cut all social programs. It's a dilemma, but a full-throated endorsement, no, no, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Luckily, I don't have to make everything up on the fly, right? But I mean, there is a little bit of texture here, something to consider with Bernie possibly being part of the governing of, But there's no way that I could say yes, Bernie did the right thing for me. He may did the right thing for him. He may did things that he thought was necessary to be done. But I cannot say at all that I support it. Okay? Not at this point. I can't say that. Hell, I didn't support Bernie dropping out. Why drop out of a campaign that's suspended effectively anyway? Like, no one can campaign, so why drop out? I mean, you can't hold rallies. You can't. So why drop out? It doesn't make sense. Why not just stay in? That's how I looked at it. And look, there's a couple of things before I even can consider. I mean, of course, as a Bernie supporter, as a Bernie supporter, not just a knee-jerk Bernie supporter, but as a Bernie supporter who looked at policy, of course, Joe Biden embracing certain policies makes me feel a little bit better about the possibility of a Joe Biden, but there's too many question marks with Joe Biden. What does the man stand for? I have no idea. For some reason, people think just because he didn't try to push Obama down a flight of stairs, he's a great friend of the black community. I mean, what was he supposed to do except do his damn job? I don't know what he was supposed to do, what he did that was so amazing as VP. That people go, wow, he worked for Obama. What was he supposed to do, quit? What was he supposed to do? Maybe he only shut his mouth and tap dance behind Obama so he can be sitting here today knowing that your damn ass would be like, he's great because he worked for Obama and now he gets to run for president. Maybe that was the whole plan. Maybe Joe Biden had a long game all the time, all the while, knowing that they're susceptible people to the fact that he could work for a black man, as if that's crazy talk in 2020, that somebody can actually work for a black man, a white guy can work for a black guy. Like, oh my God, now he's like a civil rights hero because he worked for Obama. And the whole point was for you to vote for him because he did that. But I like, there's so much that needs to be answered about Joe Biden. Like, okay, so we got sexual assault allegations right now that MSNBC just picked up that have been out there for almost a year. They picked them up yesterday and called them new and dismissed them. So, being a person that loves women who had to sit through the Kavanaugh hearings, that had less that I know of, had less or marginally or about the same or less evidence than the Joe Biden allegations from Tara Reid. I wonder why no one's making that relevant. We had to actually sit through hearings and talks. But when it's Joe Biden, nobody wants to have a conversation. We just dismiss it out of hand. And these are women doing this. These are women dismissing it and organizations running away from that story. They didn't run when it was Kavanaugh. But if Joe Biden wants the support of me, he'd have to answer that. That'd be like the first thing he'd have to do. Then I need to see like Medicare for All. What does that look like? What does our fight for Medicare for All look like with you? And throwing us a crumb that people 60 years old, you're going to change it from 65 to 60 to enroll in Medicare. That's not enough. I mean, Hillary was off at 55. So now we lose 5 years? I don't think that's going to work. Or is Joe Biden just bartering, offering 60 and then is going to equivocate at 55? You know, that's what negotiators do. That's possible too, Johnson. There's an article by The Guardian that Michael Moore tweeted out from young people, a number of young youth, a number of activist organizations. It's called Dear Joe Biden, here's how you can earn our support. And they went through a list of things, policies, that mattered to them that they wanted to see Joe Biden implement and make movement towards the left on, such as guns, gun violence prevention, climate change, immigration, healthcare, criminalization, education, wealth tax, foreign policy, democracy, and administration. None of these things had to do with his personality. None of these things had to do with how he combs his hair. None of them had to do with what his dog's name is. They all had to do with policies. So, I agree with them. I agree with Alliance for Youth Action, Justice Democrats, March for Our Lives, Next Generation, America, Student Action, Sunrise Movement, and United We Dream. And instead of addressing these, or basically any of these jackasses addressing what these organizations are saying that Joe Biden need to do to earn their vote, because, hey, look, know this, just because Bernie Sanders came out and said people should endorse, that he's endorsing Biden, doesn't mean we will. Doesn't mean we will. No, that's not how this works. And I'm sure Bernie's well aware of that. I'm just wondering if the establishment's aware of it. You know, when Michael Moore sent out the tweet alerting Joe Biden, hey, Joe Biden, you're going to need the youth vote if you want to beat Trump, people all came for him on Twitter. He was just basically paraphrasing an article written by organizations of young people making that very same claim. But instead of even reading the article, instead of saying, hey, yeah, well, climate change is a big deal. So you're worried about the coronavirus, but you're not worried about the planet being habitable? I don't get it. I don't get it at all, Johnson. So Biden said, I'm going to need you not just to win the campaign, but to govern. Well, you know what? It's early. It just happened today. I'm sure they're both going to have to talk more. It's going to have to be more conversation about it. I would need it in writing. I would need so much in writing from Joe Biden, and if he doesn't live up to it, we could kick him out that week. Like I would need like an ironclad contract. Like you're gonna do this and this and this, or you get out next month. We don't gotta wait until election time either. We could kick your ass out immediately. That's what that's what it would take. It would take Bernie as his VP, and to be able to kick him out if he doesn't do Medicare for all or legalize cannabis, or like two out of 6. Green New Deal, something. Like he's got to give me like two out of 6, 3 out of 6. Okay? And make Bernie the VP. And put Senator Anita Turner in his cabinet too. Like these are the things that I would need him to do. You think I'm joking? Like I don't feel comfortable with Joe Biden. He's probably his running mate. If we don't make these stipulations, he'll go get Stacey Abrams. And some dummies will say, she black, so she got to be perfect for us. She support us. He'll go to Georgia and talk to people in Georgia. Not the people that just go to the clubs. Talk to the people that know about how politics works in Georgia. And then come back and let me know what you think about how great Stacey Abrams is. Oh, no, you can't say that. I don't care who endorsed her. I don't care who likes her. What I'm telling you is, I want to know what people have stood for, what they stand for, not what they look like, not what they say they'll do. I want to know about their track record. And I want to deep dive into these people. I already know where Amy Klobuchar is. Some people say his running mate might be Amy Klobuchar, the cop. Now, if I wasn't happy with Kamala Harris, what makes you think I'd be happy with Amy Klobuchar? Because she's shorter and with no tan? No, that's not enough. It's not enough, Johnson. Both have bad jokes. And both have bad records. So it's not going to be enough for me. So there we go. Well, it's a tough cup of coffee, ain't it? The caffeine kicked in, guys. Well, like I said, I had a whole different lineup prepared for today. Number of stories I wanted to cover, from Tara Reid to the campaign that's leaking like a sieve now, with all these rumblings about how much Bernie failed them. So I think what's imperative, what's most important are the policies that get done for us. That's what's most important. But let's just be very clear. It's very hard to support a candidate who didn't stand for any of those policies, didn't run on any of those policies. How much can you hold them to them? They didn't run. Joe Biden didn't run on anything that I listed that is important for us. So how can we hold his feet to the fire on issues he didn't run on? You can't just hold somebody's feet to the fire on concessions they made with their arm being twisted behind their back. I mean, they'll say they'll do it, but will they do it? They say they'll fight for it, but how much will they fight for something that they didn't run on? He ran on nothing. He ran on nothing. And that's how dumb the American people are. He got to run on nothing. Oh, my fault. He ran on Trump is bad. Trump evil. Therefore, I'm good. No, he can't even say that. He ran on making you feel American again. You already are American. Let's get back to America being America. What does that even mean, Johnson? We lock up more people than any other country on the planet. What does that mean? That was happening before Trump. So what does that mean? Poverty rate, did it go up or down? What does that mean? It was already a bunch of poverty. It was already a bunch of poor people. Evidenced by the people that are dropping dead now with this this coronavirus, COVID-19, who had pre-existing conditions. Some knew it, some didn't know it. So these issues already existed. They didn't just come into fruition under Donald Trump. So these things need to be considered, guys. Look, I'm a broken record at this point. We'll be back tonight to talk more about it. Let's go to the comment section. I'm sure there'll be some comments there that need to be read, which will keep this conversation going. But let me check out what you guys are saying. Right? All right. Jesus. Got a few comments. Look how lit up No Joe is. Looks like a GD angel. Is that on my job over here? Or Thrasher says, Curl says that the Thrasher says, Bernie sees Trump as the rise of Hitler. His fear of the next Holocaust outweighs his urge to be Biden. I don't like it, but it is understandable. That's why I started off by saying, I do believe Sanders believes that Trump is way worse than Biden. I believe that's how he feels. I think that people who are really in a hurt position right now might agree with him. People watching MSNBC probably agree with him too. How many independents feel that way? And why is it that Republicans feel the opposite way? Because it's all about perspective, baby. But once we start peeling them back and looking at exactly what's happening and why, exactly what the track records show, then maybe we'll come away with some clarity. But until then, we're just dealing with people's perceptions. Princess, not doing the lesser two evils this time. Sorry. I didn't do it last time, Johnson, but I feel you. I didn't do it last time, but I feel exactly what you're saying. Tony DeMayo, this is devastating, Johnson. It ain't devastating. I mean, according to Bernie's campaign, Bernie sucked. He's not a good politician. He's not good. So, the people that were still taking his checks, who run their mouths behind his back, basically stabbed him all in the back. I mean, what kind of campaign do you have if you got a bunch of campaign staff stabbing you in the back while you're running? But they'll keep taking your money, though. I think it was David Sirota, but we'll find out, because I reached out to him to find out, is he the big mouth who's been talking to other big mouths while he was supposed to be a speechwriter for the Bernie Sanders campaign? Just wondering. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize publicly. But at this point, there's somebody in that campaign that felt it was necessary to shit all over Bernie while he was running the campaign. Focus hard. Good content, Tim. Please support. I'm not supporting them. Can't do it, man. We don't do shout-outs for $2. And Karen, what's up, Karen? That's not how this show works. Will Biden get as many of us killed as DT's admin? Will Biden get as many of us as Donald Trump's admin? Administration. I don't know how many got killed, Johnson. Let's talk about how many Biden got killed with the Obama administration. You can't work in an administration, Joe Biden, and take all the bows and claps and applause, but take none of the criticism. You can't say, hey, we got Affordable Care Act done, and then don't talk about all the wars you got done too. You can't say, hey, we did my brother's keeper, then leave out you did mass deportations too. That the cages Donald Trump was using to put the kids in were cages you brought under the Obama administration that no one talks about. In fact, some of the images that people were putting out on social media crying about and raged about when they thought they were under Trump were actually under Obama. So these are the problems that we have. And they had these problems. They had these dilemmas of conscience are natural. That means you're a thinking human being that's not just going along with the flow or going along with what's popular, whether it is to bash Bernie or to uphold Obama. Both are bad. Both are horrible. If that's, you just knee-jerk, run a corner. So what we need to do is decipher and not lie, not embrace the right wing of our viewership, and not embrace the wacky, social justice people, if they don't have any rationality, who just jump out the gym on issues without, having any, relatability to them. So I think both ends of the spectrum, we need to look at them and make sure we're doing the right thing here. That's all I'm saying. I mean, is it possible we go a little bit too far sometimes? Yeah, it's very possible, Johnson. But if you just tuned in, Bernie endorsed Biden. And he had a lot of reasons why he thought he should do it. One of them being that Trump is the Antichrist. I'm not so certain Biden is in the form of Antichrist himself. And I don't buy the whole thing. He's a decent guy. He's a nice guy. He's a warm guy. He's a touchy-feely guy. You know what? You're going to have to address a lot of issues with me before I even get close to looking at this as a possibility of endorsing a Joe Biden. My thing is this. How can we trust that Joe Biden will do what he says he's going to do? And I know for a lot of voters it won't matter. All it took for him to do is stand next to Obama and take a check for 8 years for them to support him. That's all it took for somebody to have a job. Okay. But it'll take more than that for me. And I think there's going to be some people that are going to hold out who are going to feel the same way. You want to make Donald Trump a one-term president? What are you willing to do that? Let's get that Medicare for all age down. Let's get that minimum wage up. Let's get that student loan relief enacted. Let's do some changes. Let's get some fundamental changes. And then I'll think about it, because then it makes sense. But if all we get is, I'm a decent guy, we're forming another task force, that's not going to be enough. Talk to us about what you plan to get done on the day one. Who your VP going to be? And if it's a neoliberal, nope. If it's like Kim Kaine, but a female Kim Kaine like Amy Klobuchar, nope. Nope. Okay? Nope. It's not going to happen. And look, and just on principle, if it's Elizabeth Warren, nope. Nope. Can't do it. Oh. So, there it is. I think Saga is right, unfortunately. When things are, they continue to disregard our concerns. Trump will be the tip of the iceberg. I don't know. I don't watch Saga. I don't watch Republican shows. Sorry. I just don't, man. But I feel you, though. Put murder. Did Bernie really just try to sell all of us down the river? Try to sell us down the river? I don't know, troll. I don't like that type of attitude about it. If you think it's possible that Bernie thinks will be better than Trump, like, can we not be so disingenuous? Now, I know you may not think that it's possible that Trump could be a bad president, but do you think it's possible that other people think he is without being sellouts? Just a question. Is it possible? Is it possible, Americans? Is it possible that some people think Trump is worse than Biden? I think it's possible to think that. Right? Like, and without a person being a sellout or whatever. I think that's possible. I think it's probable for a lot of people. So, hey, Biden will behave as if anything that was done that you don't like that was done under Obama, he was just the VP. It wasn't his place to talk. Wasn't his place to do anything, And then if you liked it, he was like, yeah, we got it done, didn't we? You liked that? Okay, yeah, that was us. So, like, it's a game. It's a game. But, yeah. So, anyway, guys, tonight we'll be looking at this closer. We got also some other news that we'll talk about tonight. I don't know, guys. Drink your coffee because you're going to need it. I wasn't expecting this today. But I like to, so let me ask this one question before we go. How many of you will be influenced by Bernie's? You know what? I think some people are not going to tell the truth on this, to be honest. But I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you influenced at all by Bernie Sanders endorsing Joe Biden? Does that influence you at all? Does that change your opinion of Bernie's decision or your decision about Joe Biden? Yeah, I'd like to know that because I think it's relevant. Joe may pull a rabbit out of his hat and offer Bernie a position in his administration. He said help him govern. I don't know. It's more than Hillary did. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, Johnson. Maybe that's why. Maybe that is why. Wow. Thanks, Tim, for all you do. I would never support Joe Biden or anyone who endorsed Joe Biden. Kerr says, hey, thank you, Seth. I hear you, man. Joe Biden has so much to answer for, doesn't he? Tara Reid. I mean, as a man who loves women, as a man who respects people, humanity, I can't, in good conscience, support a guy who won't answer about sexual assault. Who does he think he is? He knows that's out there. You can't just release statements from your campaign and call it a wrap. Now, I know Trump did that, but I didn't vote for Trump. Get it? Get what I'm saying, guys? Like, Joe Biden can't just have his campaign release a press release and walk the other way and then get endorsed by Bernie. Bernie, you're endorsing a guy with a shadow over his head of possible sexual misconduct. You can't just endorse him and that somehow drown out the sexual misconduct stuff. You had to hear about it. Biden, I know you heard about it because your staff responded to it. You're going to have to address that. And Casey on MSNBC with her dead eyes trying to tell us, well, Trump has allegations too. That's not enough because Trump is not, I'm not voting for Trump. And I didn't vote for him last time. So that's a moot point, Johnson. That doesn't matter, Johnson. You guys want to keep talking? You guys want to keep talking, Princess Queen? What you think? I hate this damn Surrey. Shut up, Surrey. All right, guys, we keep the conversation going. I'll be right back. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. Get it today. Wolfpack. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, so guys, for anybody who just tuned in, unfortunately I have bad news to give you. But it's news nonetheless, so we have to discuss it. We've had a conversation about it already. Bernie Sanders endorsed Joe Biden today. Bernie Sanders has endorsed Joe Biden. We played the clip. You're gonna have to I can't play it again, guys. I can't bring myself to watch that clip again. It's so disheartening. But there were some relevant points in the clip where Bernie Sanders tries to weigh in on why he endorses Joe Biden. And he didn't call him a decent man, so that should make you feel better. Didn't call him a good man either. It was the other way. Joe Biden called Bernie a good man. Is that okay? Everyone's all hung up on, you called him decent. Shouldn't call him decent. Okay. That changed everything. I tend to believe it was a number of things that didn't go correct. And the harping on just one thing, as if that's what did it, I don't think that's how you get to the real truth of Bernie Sanders' campaign, Bernie 2020. And why Biden's not endorsing Bernie, but Bernie's endorsing Biden. I think it's more than just one thing, Johnson. And I think that's a fair way to look at it, as opposed to just cursing out Bernie and calling it a day. But back to Bernie Sanders' endorsement of Joe Biden. I don't support it, but I support the fact that I honestly believe, that Bernie Sanders honestly feels that Trump. See, here's an important distinction I would like to make for folks, because I can see it now. So this is the clip. This is the part I would like to send out to the people, to those who have been bashing Bernie for months now, frankly. The difference between Bernie Sanders endorsing Biden is, I can understand that Bernie Sanders feels that Biden is better than Trump. And so, therefore, he must support Biden in defeating Trump. But all of those who endorsed Biden, it's different because they felt that Biden was better than Bernie. And I don't believe that's true. See, when Tulsi Gabbard endorsed Biden, Bernie was still in the race. She chose Biden over Bernie. Don't tell me she knew he was going to drop out and she knew. Nah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. When Amy Klobuchar endorsed Biden over Bernie, that means that Amy Klobuchar thought that Biden was a better choice than Bernie. When Andrew Yang, who Bernie Sanders reached out to for an endorsement, and Yang turned him down, okay? It was in a political article I just read. Yang was effectively saying he prefers Biden over Bernie. You know, the guy that inspired him. So when Elizabeth Warren, who also turned down Bernie's hand for an endorsement, Bernie approached Elizabeth Warren for an endorsement and she turned him down. Okay? Because so no one talks about these turn downs of endorsements that had something to do with the fact that today Bernie had to endorse Biden as opposed to Biden endorsing Bernie, because these people chose Biden over Bernie. When Elizabeth Warren refused to endorse Bernie Sanders, she was saying, I prefer Biden. Get what I'm saying? So I look at it differently for those reasons. Now, I know there'll be people who will make that seem like it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. If you believe that Bernie Sanders, who's the only thing standing between Biden and Trump at the moment, is Bernie. But when these other people had a choice, they had options. Bernie has no other option other than to, and I know people are going to say he can run third party. I don't think it's viable, Johnson. Okay? And this is somebody who voted for Jill Stein in 2016. And I thought Jill Stein had more of an option and was more viable than Howie Hawkins. Okay? Okay. Just on name recognition alone. Just on the fever around the country. Just on the temperature of the country, I feel that Jill Stein had more of an opportunity, more of a chance than Howie Hawkins. Now, that's a conversation for another time, but I want to let you know I'm not out of the loop, and I do understand that some people feel that way. You may disagree, but I do understand, and I want you to understand I've weighed it. I feel like Bernie Sanders has no other option. His only other option is to not endorse Biden and to be blamed for Biden's loss. But all the others who have endorsed Biden had an option. They could have sided with Bernie. Some of them could have changed the fate of this race. They chose not to. They chose to get up behind Biden. That's what they chose to do. So they had options that were still within the Democratic Party, the party that they are committed to, that they signed a contract for. They have, so they could have supported Bernie. They chose not to. They chose Biden. Bernie's choice, none of them chose Trump, right? But if Bernie doesn't choose Biden, who is Bernie choosing? Come on, guys. If you're on Twitter, you already know the answer to this. To the rest of the world. To Twitter world, okay? Let's just stick to Twitter world. To Twitter world, if Bernie doesn't endorse Biden, who is Bernie endorsing? $300, Johnson. Of fake cornbread, not real cornbread. I don't got $300. But you understand what I'm saying? So Bernie really has no option other than to endorse Biden or stay in the race. He already chose to lead the race. I would have preferred for Bernie to stay in the race. At least then it's him against Biden instead of Bernie tacitly supporting Trump in a weird way. Because, just like I stated with Elizabeth Warren, when Elizabeth Warren decided not to endorse Bernie, who was she endorsing effectively? Joe Biden. Even though she didn't endorse anyone. So my thing is, we gotta keep it 100. And I know there's going to be so many videos out on this subject where people are not going to be fair and honest and real. They're going to equate people who endorsed a month ago to this moment and say it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Timing is everything. And at that time, you had an option. You may not choose that option. You may not choose that option because politically it's not good for you. That's not the same thing. I do not for a second believe that Tulsi Gabbard thinks Joe Biden has the heart of Aloha. Okay, I don't believe that. Okay? I think she was a political move. She's been the most strategic political person in this thing. I do not for a minute believe that Andrew Yang thinks that Joe Biden is the future of America. We all know who his policies were more aligned with. Bernie Sanders. We all know that. Tom Steyer. Bernie sought the endorsement of Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer told him to go shove it. Tom Steyer. Nobody supported Bernie except for Marianne Williamson, Bill de Blasio, who was only in the race for 2 seconds. If you blinked, you missed him. Anybody else? Jay Inslee won't even support Bernie. Tim Ryan endorsed Joe Biden. So, I'm just keeping it 100 here. And that's my impression of it. That's how I see it. So Bernie's hand was forced. Now, I say get more for it. That's going to help us. Because when all of the anger and frustration and spitting and yelling and cursing, which people love, they love it. They love it, man. They love it. Yeah. MF and MF and MF. And rah! See him in person, he pees on himself. What'd you say? Nothing, man. Nothing. Thought you was a tough guy. Oh, no. Just over here with my wife. Just gotta go pee-pee. Sorry, guys. Just say, man, tired of it. The bottom line is that Bernie Sanders today, he disappoints me because I need you to get more tangibly for your endorsement. Get his ass to support Medicare for all, and we got to win. Because I'm in this for policy. Policy. That's what matters, man. That's what has to matter at this point. That's what I feel. Once again, if it was up to me, Bernie Sanders would still be in this race. I already planned. I see you in Milwaukee, baby. No Joe. You see, I'm the only one with a button, no Joe button on. I'm the only one. I made him. Huh? Hello? Don't tell me Tim's a Joe Biden supporter. No, you shitting on Bernie makes you a Joe Biden supporter. How about that? How come we can't use that logic for all the bashing? They've been bashing Bernie since January. If you've been bashing Bernie since roughly January, shouldn't you be wearing a no Bernie button and go vote Joe button? I mean, I'm just saying tactically, tacitly, tangentially, aren't you endorsing Biden when you slander and bash the only progressive that was in that race? Aren't you tangentially endorsing Biden? Right? Or at the least, Donald Trump. Because the Sanders there's a poll out today that shows that Bernie Sanders still has the most possible probability of beating Donald Trump. So let's put it this way. Bashing Bernie since January makes you a Trump supporter. I won't even let you be called a Biden supporter. But you one or the other. That's what you are. If your chosen candidate had no path to victory and you spent the whole time bashing the front runner, what are you? And don't just say, I'm just a dummy in my garage. Don't just say, I'm just a guy. No. We don't get to do that. Bernie can't do that. He can't just be like, well, I'm not going to endorse anyone. I guess he could do Elizabeth Warren, right? But a non-endorsement is considered what? For Trump. So if he doesn't endorse Biden, he's endorsing Trump. You know this is how it works. You may not like it, but you know that's what it means to them. And to a lot of Americans, too, sitting at home who don't know any better. We know there's a little bit of nuance in there, but are these people going to be given that? Respectfully, guys, honestly speaking, think about it. Elizabeth Warren, when you think about Elizabeth Warren, you think that she endorsed Biden, even though she didn't. But her not endorsing Bernie makes her a Biden endorser. The same would hold true for Bernie, and I don't think Bernie can live with that. Now, I disagree with it. I say fight to the end of the death, fight to the last breath. I say go down with the ship, what you got to lose. I say all of that, but I'm not that man. And some people think that they can speak for other people. They think that they are that person because once upon a time somebody tried to take their lunch money and they got a bloody nose trying to fight for it. Okay, not the same thing at all, but fine. Fine, okay? But at the end of the day, you don't know. I rate selling out based on people's core. The core of the person. And if I feel that that person is going against being authentic to themselves, because that's really what selling out is, right? The authenticity within thyself that you are betraying, which you have projected to us, and now we feel like we know you, and then you do something counter to that that damages not just everyone else, but also that thing that you have built up. But I strongly believe, guys, that Bernie actually believes, whether you agree or I agree, I believe that Bernie believes that Trump is the worst threat, the worst president, and poses the biggest threat to this country. That's what I think Bernie believes. Now, if you don't believe that, that's fine. I understand it. I'm not saying I agree with him, but I'm saying I see his point of view. So to me, that doesn't make him a sellout. That could make him wrong to me, but that doesn't make him a sellout. And I think that's important to make that distinction. Once again, Bernie only had two options: endorse or not endorse. He's already dropped out. So if he endorses Biden, that's one thing. If he doesn't endorse Biden, he will forever be called what? A Trump supporter. Come on, guys. And hell, even in endorsing Biden now, they're going to still call him a Trump supporter, because it's never enough if their guy doesn't win or if their gal doesn't win. It's never enough, is it? It's never enough. He had to deliver them the presidency on a silver platter for them to go, thank you. Kinda, because we could have did it without you. And you know that's what they'll do. They will give you no credit for the victory and all the blame for the loss. That's how it works. But I'm saying individually as a human being, what are you prepared to live with? And I think for Bernie Sanders, this is just my feeling. It's just my opinion, Johnson. I think for Bernie Sanders, he'd rather live with them being wrong about him, siding with Biden. That's what I believe. And I think it's the difference of endorsing Biden over Bernie than being Bernie, the last man standing, and endorsing Biden over Trump. That to me is different. Yeah, that's different. Now, you may not agree with that. You may look at it another way, but it's a valid position to take. And I'm sure others will reiterate it now that I've said it. Just remember I said it first, because I don't watch other people's content to develop my own opinions. The reason why you come to this show is that I have my own opinions, and you saw this all happen in real time. I watched the clip just before I did the show, and then I did a show about it, and I played the clip, and then after this all happened. This is all organic, baby. This is all real, y'all. This is happening in real time. All right, so let's go and see. Let's go see what some comments are, if anybody's made comments. What you guys talking about? Let's see what we got. Princess Queen said Bernie gave us the gift of the best gift ever. He empowered us to fight for each other in a way we never had. I'm hopeful for the future. Stay strong, Johnson. Yeah, Princess Queen, I will stay strong, sister. You stay strong too. And don't let me get pissed off or angry or loud, bother you at all. Because I'll fight for you and I fight for us as you fight for me. We'll fight for each other. And believe this, I believe that you're right. My thing is this. I just want people to give them a fair shot, a fair shake, and just accept that maybe people see it different. I mean, I've had the opportunity to talk to some Republicans. I was on a podcast recently, and though I disagree with them, some of them felt like they were being authentic. Like they weren't just giving me talking points, that they were pulling out their ass, that they actually felt the way they felt. Now, you may disagree with their conclusions or their solutions, but the authenticity I felt was there, as far as they're not just saying this because they wear an R on their shirt. Keith Simon, people are about to lose their homes in a few months due to Pelosi bill. Enough about Trump. Bernie's controlled opposition. Third party now. I think that's stupid. That's stupid as shit. Controlled opposition. Yeah, controlled opposition. That's a stupid idea. Who told you that? Where'd you hear that from? Controlled opposition. Guy, what's he got to do? I guess he'd have to literally die for you. Like if he would have died and not survived the heart attack, would he still be controlled opposition for you? Or him surviving? Him surviving. I'm sure, and I'm sure there's many other channels that are covering the coronavirus right now. You spent $5 to tell me you'd rather go watch that. Well, go watch it. I get it, Johnson. Doors that way. Hey, Tanya, didn't get why anyone's surprised since he'll be back since he said he'll back the nominee. That said, I didn't watch his video, can't make it myself, but I did expect it. I hear you, Tanya. Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't have done it. But I'm not running. I didn't run for anything. And if you think maybe that's too magnanimous, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice. But I just say, I didn't run for anything, so I'm not going to say this person has bad intentions and start coming with kooky conspiracy theories that they are controlled opposition because because I said I would do a different thing without even knowing if I would. Just feeling like I would. Thanks, Tim. I believe Bernie's not a sellout. He deserves better than that. Yeah, he does. He does deserve better than that. I just like I said, man, if I believe Bernie was the one speaking to all those issues. He's the one speaking out for homeless people and poor people, man. And you said him talking about that. Do you really think they set him up to talk about these issues that they hate, that he brings up? They don't like him talking about Medicare for all, man. They don't like him talking about $15 minimum wage, man. They don't like him talking about ending mass incarceration, man. They don't like him talking about ending private prisons, man. They don't like him talking about his platform. What are you, an idiot? Come on. You think, they just want him to talk about it. So, no, they would rather it never be discussed. That's why they don't do segments on it. Think. If they wanted, if your idea is correct, listen, real talk, man. If your idea is correct, that Bernie Sanders is a fabrication of our oligarchy, of our plutocracy, if he is just a vessel, a Trojan horse, if he is not a real candidate, if he is just an algorithm or something, or what have you, of the 1%, right? If he's just this cutout, right? If that's what you're saying, that would mean that the issues he talked about, why not just have him in the media? Like, why go through all the trouble of having to defeat him? Dude, he won 3 states in a row. You think that's scripted? You don't think they didn't want to stop him? They wanted to stop him. That's what all the negative press was for. So why all the negative press if he's controlled opposition? I just can't, dude. I don't think you're thinking clearly. Now, if you say they had it out for him from the beginning and the chances were small and, that's different language, and I could kind of go with that better than I could go with the way you put it earlier, which was sort of like he wasn't really running. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Because if he was controlled opposition, why even have controlled opposition? There's been many years there's been no Bernie Sanders. I mean, there doesn't have to be a person pulling the country to the left. You really think our center-right country, our oligarchy, wants us being pulled to the left talking about these issues? I don't think they do, Johnson. I don't think they do, man. A union buster doesn't want the union people getting together talking to the employees, man. And don't say when they're talking to employees in order to throw you off the trail that they're going to bust the union. Nah, they want to shut shit down. All right, Keith, thanks for supporting me. The fight doesn't end with the run for president. Vote your conscience in November and buy a yellow vest. All right. Dark Wings, what's up? Hey, thank you, Fat Shriola. So, we could disagree on some stuff. It's okay. But have some rooting in, facts on some of this stuff, man. Especially if you're going to come from my guy. Bernie's still my guy. So you got to come with me with something. Now, if you say Bernie should have fought Biden harder, okay, fine. I accept that. But don't say he was a dead ringer. Don't tell me he was fake opposition. Don't tell me it was because he didn't call Biden names. These things are not enough to lose a campaign. Biden didn't even have to campaign in some of the states that he won. Why is that, Johnson? That's the media. But I had people bash Bernie who won't even consider that. There are states that Biden won where he had no offices in them. So why did he win those states? That's media. Get it? There's no other way to chalk it up. Or it's something to do with Obama. Or unless it just, didn't count the votes. But yeah, so I think it's more than one reason. But at the end of the day, we're talking about this. We're talking about Biden. Well, we're talking about Bernie endorsing Biden today. And I'm telling you, he didn't have much choice. He'd already dropped out. I wish he hadn't dropped out. I think Bernie was poised to go to the convention. Let's see what happens. That's how I feel. That's what I believe. I feel that since mail-in ballots should be a thing, you let the elections keep going. I haven't voted in Maryland yet. I'd like to have my vote, okay? And so have many of you haven't voted in New Jersey, New York, right? We would like to vote too. Let us have our say, Bernie. But I also feel like since there were no rallies, people weren't put in harm's way. If we could just not have it done in person for right now during the coronavirus, the shutdown, then there's no reason. What's the argument? But here's the thing. Here's the big thing. If you just tuned in, guys, Biden floated the notion that he may be offering Bernie Sanders a spot on his administration. He said he needs Bernie's help not just to get elected, but to govern. Does that change your opinion at all? Now, I know for a lot of us it will not. But there are some Bernie supporters, I believe, that will say that's more than we thought we'd get from that. Throw in a couple policies and maybe you got me. That's what I believe. Now, I could be wrong. I'm a weirdo. I want a blood oath. Because I don't trust Biden, okay? I want a blood oath. I want a promissory note that says I can take every dollar that you owe and have you living on the street in a box, Johnson. Okay? Or something. Because I don't trust Biden. Okay? Wow. All right, guys. Look, Facebook people, you got any comments? Facebook. Let me jump to Facebook and see if I can try to answer some comments read some comments on Facebook Live. The Dems have screwed over black people. Bernie did nothing for blacks. How long has he been in Congress? Well, black people joined the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines. So his veterans bill did help black people. I know that's not enough, Lisa Belk Lewis, but white lady. But the fact that Bernie passed that bill, that's just one bill. I know that helped people. And since black people are people, get it? Since black people are people, if you help people, you help black people. Because we still people, Johnson. Now, did he have some individual policy in Congress that he did that helped black people? No. But neither did Obama. Okay. Need that no Joe button now more than ever. Carmen Camilla. Carmen. You know what? We got them, but we're going to mail them out too. We got them, the envelopes, and we have the postage. So we're going to start mailing them out, Carmen. Denny. Media kill Bernie. They were vote anyone but Bernie. Right. And you know what? Some people in independent media would vote anything but Bernie too. And some reason, no one's calling them out. And it's okay. And then I call them out, and then it's like people act like it didn't happen. That's okay, guys. You know what it is? I think people are afraid how powerful we're going to get on this channel. We're going to get very powerful on this channel. We're going to grow, and we're going to call shit out for what it is. Yeah, Bernie shouldn't have been so nice to Joe, but you know what? The media should have stopped kneecapping Bernie a long time ago. How do you undersell and stab in the back a candidate for 5 years straight? That's what they did. Instead of independent media having us back, some of you piled on to the backstabbing. So there that is. Rebecca Lane. Saying you, oh, no, that's not. Somebody replying. Paul Williams says, as I turn to fight, stay strong, progressives. I believe that, Paul. Thank you. VP or nothing, says Rebecca Lane. There you go, Rebecca. How you doing? Dennis Gifford, governing means local level. Senate. Right. Hold up, Senate. Oh, means local level. So governing is not in this cabinet? That's interesting. I don't know, man. Joe Condra says, only VP, no cabinet. And then Madalena Hutchinson says, no, because I don't trust him. And I think she's talking about Joe Biden. So look, guys, we get a good cross-section of what people are feeling, man. And look, guys, if I come off harsh like I do sometimes, it's all right. I got love for you. You come off harsh too. I know you pissed off. We are all entitled to feel how we feel. You're entitled to feel however you feel. If you feel angry, fine. I get it. I respect it. You understand what I'm saying? I respect the hell out of it. You should feel angry. If you feel upset, frustrated, I respect that. I'm a person too. There's no scripts. That's one thing I will say about my friends who get loud and crazy. I respect it. But spread it around. Spread the hate around. Spread that vitriol around. Don't just save it for my guy. Save it for, where was it for your guy? Where was the yelling and the screaming for your guy? If everybody deserves criticism, well then why won't you give it more of it out? That's all I'm saying. Now, Dark Wings. Thank you, Dark Wings. Brian, what'd you say, Brian? What's up, man? Brian says, what did Brian say? Brian says, I love Bernie, but it's time to move on. There's no reason to bash him. I'm an adult. Keep putting it out great. What's right, not what's popular. There you go. I'm trying, brother. But you know, sometimes people are going to disagree, and that's okay too. Because we're all being true to who we are and what we believe. But there's also what they call facts. So we must also weigh those facts. We can't just say one thing and then think that's the end all be all. There's more to it. But I was thinking the same thing, like maybe like everyone has their limitations, everyone has their flaws. All of us. Even me. I mean, I may be great, but I ain't that great. So like we all have our flaws. Some flaws hold you back more than others. Sometimes those flaws can be a detriment. Sometimes your flaws are what make you enduring. But it's all relative to what the situation is and how it applies to the given goal that you're trying to achieve. And what I'm saying is, I don't know, maybe some of the flaws that we have hurt us. You know, some of the criticism has been Bernie needed to have more establishment people in his group, in his campaign. That's some of the suggestions. I wonder how you feel about that, people. There's some people saying he shouldn't have had these bunch of newcomers running his campaign. He should have had some more established people who knew more about campaigns. Look, I don't know. We set records. We did amazing things. And hindsight's always 20/20. Sometimes, you know, actually it's not always 20/20 either. Sometimes it's still like, I don't know if I would have zigged. Would I have been okay? If I zagged, would it have been better? You really don't know. Today, Bernie Sanders endorsed Joe Biden. Some people feel stabbed in the heart. Some people feel stabbed in the heart without them looking. But after, I feel neither, because I sort of expected it, because he dropped out. Honestly, guys, I didn't expect Bernie to drop out. So, my shock was that, not this. My shock was he didn't go all the way to convention like he did with Hillary. And my thing was the coronavirus, though it makes it dangerous to go in person and vote, if people can mail in their ballots, we're good. So let's do that. That was my stance, and that's still my stance. But now Bernie endorsed Biden, and all I want to say, I want to make sure if you're new to this, if you just clicked on this broadcast, I want you to subscribe and hit the bell, but I want you to know Bernie endorsed Biden today. I don't know if I'm happy about that. I know I'm not happy about it. I'm pissed off about it because I don't trust Joe Biden to get done anything that Joe Biden promises to do. Because Joe Biden is Joe Biden. And he's a corporate animal. He does what corporations want. He's a big pharmaceutical guy. That's who he is, Johnson. So if what we want is contrary to what his corporate donors want, who do you think he's going to choose? So that's why money out of politics has always been so important to me. And you would think with Joe Biden it wouldn't matter. But he's also thinking about down the ticket ballot. He's thinking about the DNC, the Democratic Party. Joe Biden said that he agreed that we need to do something about the minimum wage. Did he agree today to do something about the minimum wage? He said no. He basically said he agreed he should take a look at it. That type of talk will not make us enthused. We will not be enthused. Michael Moore said, hey, Joe Biden, if you want the under 50 vote, which Bernie won that you did not win, you're going to have to do some things. Or Trump's going to get reelected. And everybody got angry with Michael Moore. And all Michael Moore was doing was repeating an article that's in The Guardian written by 5 youth organizations that all say that. It's a collective article called Dear Joe Biden. Here's how you can earn our support. And it has all the policies they want Joe Biden to consider if he wants the under 50 vote. And people got mad at Michael Moore for saying it. They weren't as mad about somebody putting it in writing. So people are idiots. So they don't really want their guy to win. They just don't want you to talk badly about their guy. But they don't really want him to win because they don't want him to do the things that would help him win. If you want your candidate to win, you should want them to do the things that make him a winner. And for Joe Biden to beat Trump, for him to be a winner, he would need to adopt either climate change proposals, gun violence prevention proposal, immigration proposal, healthcare proposal, criminalization proposal, education proposal, wealth tax proposal, foreign policy proposal, future administration ideas, and democracy, filibuster rules, what have you. Yeah. I don't see an H.R. 40, ADOS. I said I don't see an H.R. 40, ADOS. I haven't heard anybody say Biden, no reparations, no vote. Why didn't I hear that in South Carolina? Makes me feel like that was all about stopping Bernie because I haven't heard them say that about Biden. When y'all gonna say that about Biden? Hello? When y'all gonna threaten Biden with losing if he don't pass a reparations act? I mean, you did it with my guy. It didn't do it to anybody else the entire election. And then you get Biden up and I don't hear shit. So that's a problem, Johnson. That's a problem. I would respect it if you kept it across the board. But just like the people that criticize Bernie, who don't criticize other candidates, you did the same thing. You criticized Bernie, said, what has he done for black people? Just so happens the only one that has any bona fides in civil rights activism at all that we can trace and prove, not lies like Joe Biden, actual traceable proof. He's the one you go after, and all the rest get a free walk, a cakewalk. And then we got candidates who supported reparations. You didn't come out and vote for them. Marianne Williamson, Tom Steyer supported reparations, and they both got clobbered. They got embarrassed. They got shellacked. You didn't come out for them at all. I don't understand. It sounds like a bunch of wolf tickets and smoke and mirrors. That's what it sounds like to me. So let's go get Biden. Let's use that strength in numbers. Since you got so many numbers, go use them now and push Biden towards these policies. Let's see the op-eds. Or we just want to yell on YouTube and call people names on YouTube. Let's see your articles and let's push Biden. People worried about the coronavirus, but aren't worried about climate change. Like, it'd be great to survive coronavirus. It wouldn't be so cool to die in a planet that's uninhabitable. So, like, maybe we should do both. We could do both. Let's push Biden that way. So as angry as we are about Bernie endorsing Biden, let's also try to get some shit done, because I'm not prepared to go back to my people like, look, sorry, y'all, we just ain't going to get nothing done over the next 4 years. I don't think that's right. Now, I know there's some people who are willing to do that. They got good reasons to. But I'm still going to fight for issues, whether I endorse Biden or not, whether I support Biden or not. I'm still going to fight for issues, because those issues matter because people live here. You can't just check out and come back every 4 years and hope your guy wins, and if they don't, you leave. So that's how I see it. So look, guys, look. Today, Bernie endorsed Biden. I wish he didn't do it. But I do find it different if you were a candidate in this race who endorsed Biden over Bernie. You had an option. Bernie does not have that option. Now, you politically made a decision. You made a political calculation that Biden was better for you than Bernie. And when people are talking about doing the postmortem, when they're doing the autopsy, what happened with the Bernie campaign, I will at least allow you to look for the bullets that are in thy back. Maybe the bullets had something to do with the heart stopping. Maybe the bullets had something to do with the death. It wasn't the fall that killed you. It was the sudden stop. Like, maybe we should look at these things. People are watching. Let's go ahead and run. People are new. Let me go ahead and run the clip of Bernie. Oh, God. Bernie endorsing Joe Biden.
So we are in a terrible moment, an unprecedented moment. And I know we share the understanding that we've got to go forward right now and out of this in an unprecedented way to address the terrible pain that so many of our fellow Americans are feeling. So today I am asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse, to make certain that we defeat somebody who I believe, and I'm speaking just for myself now, is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country. A president, and you made this point, who downplayed this pandemic, who ignored the advice that some of his people were giving him, who has not used the Defense Production Act early on so that we could produce the masks, the gowns, the gloves, the ventilators that our medical personnel desperately need, who today, because I understand that is threatening to fire Dr. Fauci, who has been an unbelievable, who has been day after day the voice of science to the American people, trying to explain how we go forward in this crisis. And he's threatening to fire him. So to me, for all of those reasons and so many more, a president who apparently has never read the Constitution of the United States, who believes he's above the law, a president who lies all of the time, a president who has at least shown me that he is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe and a xenophobe and a religious bigot. I mean, for all of those reasons or more, we've got to make Trump a one-term president, and we need you in the White House. So I will do all that I can to see that happens, Joe. And I know that there is an enormous responsibility on your shoulders right now. And it's imperative that all of us work together to do what has to be done, not only in this moment, but beyond this moment, in the future of this country. And in that regard, I have been very pleased that your staff and my staff have been working together over the last several weeks to coming up with a number of task forces. These are task forces that will look at some of the most important issues facing this country. The economy, how we create an economy that works for all, not just a few. Education, how we create the best educational system in the world for all of our people. How we deal with climate change, which, as you indicated, is an existential threat to the planet. How we deal with criminal justice, because we don't want to continue having more people in jail than any other country on earth. How we deal with immigration reform, and how we have a healthcare system that is so much better than what we have right now. Now, it's no great secret out there, Joe, that you and I have our differences, and we're not going to paper them over. That's real. But I hope that these task forces will come together utilizing the best minds and people in your campaign and in my campaign to work out real solutions to these very, very important problems. So look forward to working with you and bringing some great people into those task forces.
Well, Bernie, I want to thank you for that. It's a big deal, and I think that your endorsement means a great deal. It means a great deal to me. I think people are going to be surprised that we are apart on some issues, but we're awfully close on a whole bunch of others. And I think you've made. If I am the nominee, which it looks like now you just made me, I'm going to need you, not just to win the campaign, but to govern. And so, do you have any questions for me, Bernie, at all?
I did, Joe. Let's talk about some of the areas that I think we are actually fairly close. There are some areas where we disagree, but some where we are fairly close. Let's talk about the economy. And above and beyond the crisis that we're in right now, you know very well that millions of our people are working for starvation wages. And one of the fights that I've been waging for a number of years now is to raise that minimum wage to at least $15 an hour. Is that something, Joe, that you are supportive of?
Bernie, I am extremely supportive of that. And I thank you for leading on it. I thank you for your endorsement, your support. But it means a great deal to me personally. As I said in my statement when you suspended your campaign, I want to thank you for being the powerful voice. And you.
All right, so there you go. There you have it. I know it's a tough watch, but I didn't show it to you to thinking it will make you feel good. I had to show it to you because you need to know the context of what we're talking about. And this is a reality of what happened today. This is what Bernie decided to do. I don't agree with it. I think that Bernie Sanders should have fought to the end. I think you go down with the ship. I think the way that you do that is you go to the convention and let the people choose and let it be on their heads that they chose Joe Biden to go lose to Donald Trump. I think that's the way I would go. There's a real lag here. Real lag. There we go. At least I know my mic's working. So that's my point, guys. So I just want for the record for people to understand where I stand. So let's talk a little bit about where Bernie Sanders, some of the points he made. Bernie said this was about policy. It was about what he believes. And as I've stated before, guys, I truly believe that Bernie Sanders believes that Donald Trump is the worst president. And I believe that Bernie believes that Biden would be a better president. Bernie says that his camp has been in talks with Biden last few weeks, forming task force on a number of issues: climate change, economy, education, criminal justice, immigration, healthcare system, to name a few. I think that's good, and I think it's great that you're in talks. But the problem is this, and this is the thing that none of the neoliberals, none of the establishment, none of the corporate media talking heads will understand. I think they understand it, they just won't admit it. It does not matter what you say you will do if we don't believe you. See, that's the thing. That's where credibility comes in. If Joe Biden actually ran his campaign on any of these issues, I would feel more likely that he would support these issues when it comes down to it. But since Joe Biden did not run his campaign on anything other than, I work for Barack, I know Joe, and Joe knows us. That's right. That's not a campaign. Like that's not a policy. I want to restore the faith in America. America's a beautiful country. This country, and man, come on, man, America's so great. America's done these great things. There's nothing we can't do. Come on, man, there's nothing we can't do, fat, that we can't do if we don't put our heads together. That is not a policy. Are you going to legalize marijuana? No. Are you going to end cash bail? No. Are you going to end fracking? No. Are you going to, I don't know, are you going to introduce a universal health care plan? No. Okay? So it's a lot of no's. I don't want, once you say no, just stop. All the other talking, we really don't got time for all the other talking. So many people voted for Joe Biden because Obama. And some people think that Obama was brown skinned was enough because now they can tell their kids they had a brown skinned president. And you can one day become a president who just be able to give people the right or to be able to say you had another brown skinned president. But I think we should get something for presidents. I think what's the point of having one if they don't have to do anything for you? If their mere presence is all that's needed for people to be happy. I think people should have to do something. I think you should have to do something to earn a vote. And Bernie Sanders is basically saying he, for whatever reason, believes that Trump is more dangerous than Biden, obviously. Now, this is something I said earlier. If you just tuned in, because I've been streaming almost 2 hours now, you may have missed it. I believe that it's different for Joe Biden. No, it's different for Bernie Sanders. It's different that Bernie endorsed Biden than it is for when Amy Klobuchar endorsed Joe. Because Amy Klobuchar got to choose. I would like to know what people think Bernie was going to do. Endorse Trump? I mean, I know it sucks, but what do you thought he was going to do? Endorse Trump? Or you thought he was going to be like Elizabeth Warren, not endorse anyone? So basically, she's endorsing what? Biden. But if Bernie, who's running against Biden, doesn't endorse Biden, who is he effectively endorsing? Trump. Now, I know for some of you, you're fine with that. You could live with that. I don't think Bernie Sanders can live with that. There are going to be people who are going to do long videos. They're not going to address that issue. I would like you to do me a favor. If you feel so inclined to watch those videos, please ask them that question for me. Please hold their feet to the fire. Don't let it just be me, the only person out here saying, well, if he didn't endorse Biden, it'd be like he was endorsing Trump. And why is that not, why can't you see that that's different than when other candidates endorsed Biden over Bernie? They had an option. Bernie's only option is to endorse Trump or Biden. And if you don't endorse Biden, he would be endorsing Trump. And that's how it will be seen for the rest of his life and beyond his life. That's how it would be remembered, okay? Let's just cut the crap. And we know for some of these Democrats, some of these establishment folks, they're still going to say that, right? Right? They're going to blame anything, any talking point, anything that Trump throws at Biden, they're going to say it's because of Bernie. Right? We already know that, right? But I don't think Bernie could live with it. I think that we have to look at the person. And I don't think that that's how he sees it. I believe that Bernie believes that Biden's better. Hell, he kept telling you, Biden's my friend. Biden's a good guy. Maybe he believes that. And I know you saying or this person saying or whatever, Biden's a horrible person. That may not be how Bernie sees it. My thing is this. Biden got to answer for Tara Reid. I don't know what world he think he live in. Well, Donald Trump has sexual misconduct allegations. Yeah, I didn't vote for him either, Johnson. So, Joe Biden needs to answer for Tara Reid. She says that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her back in 1993. Joe Biden needs to answer to that. He needs to not just release press releases and stand behind those and run behind his campaign. Write something. Write something, y'all. While he's eating ice cream in his Corvette with his wife. No, you need to answer for that. That's step one. Step two, make either Bernie Sanders or Senator Nina Turner your VP. Hey. Not Stacey Abrams, not Amy Klobuchar. Right? Okay, you guys with me? And we got a lot of great policies. We got 7 or 8 policies. Choose 3. Now you got yourself a deal. Shake on it, Johnson. Well, we can't shake in the age of Corona. Shake on it, Johnson. Elbow bump. Short of that, I can't see why Bernie did it. If it was me. So that's how I see it. And once again, guys, how I see it may not be how you see it. But that's how I see it. No, don't shake hands with anybody. You can't do that. It's coronavirus. Well, if you're going to endorse Biden, you got to get a lot for it. A VP slot for you or Nina Turner. 3 policy points. 3. That's like what you got to do, Johnson. In writing. In a promissory note. And you got to wear one of those collars that explode. So when you don't do it, we can just hit the button. Look, man, at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, this is what needs to happen. Bernie, no, at the end of the day, this is what needs to happen. Forget Bernie for a moment. We must all get involved. See, part of the frustration that people have is that we're looking for Bernie to get it done. And what it looks like, guys, it's going to take us getting it done. It's going to take you and I getting it done. It's going to take us, not me, us getting it done, because it ain't going to be up to one person. They pulled everything out. I keep saying, it takes a lot of effort for the corporate media to be against a guy for 5 years straight. I mean, come on, guys. Biden won in states he had no offices in. How do you win in a place you never went? You win in a place you never went because you have corporate media behind you. But still, some people are selling the idea that if only Bernie called him names, corporate media would have played it over and over. I don't think they would have, Johnson. They would have just been more negative towards Bernie. That's what I think would have happened. That makes sense to me because they're not there to help Bernie. They're there to stop Bernie. So this idea that if Bernie was just meaner, that would have changed what media coverage did, I don't think it would have. And I will concede that it's not just one thing that causes a person to lose a campaign. But these people are playing one note, Charlie. Ding. They got a keyboard with one note. Ding. Bernie sucks. Ding. Bernie sucks. Bing. They don't have any keys like media was dirty. Elizabeth Warren and Tom Steyer refused to endorse Bernie Sanders. How many of you even know who Tom Steyer was until 2 weeks ago? He said Bernie's not good enough for him. So there's a lot of keys that should be on your keyboard. But for some reason, there's only one key that they play. Bad Bernie. Bad Bernie. They forget everything else. They forget Jim Clyburn in South Carolina. They forget Super Tuesday. They forget Elizabeth Warren didn't endorse him. They forget Andrew Yang. I mean, there's an article in Politico where Bernie Sanders' campaign reached out to Andrew Yang, Elizabeth Warren, and Tom Steyer. They all turned him down for an endorsement. All 3 of them. I don't see videos on it. All I still see are videos blaming Bernie. And now that Bernie, who may in his heart believe that Joe Biden is a better man, is a better president, would be a better president than Trump, now all we want to hear for the next 2 days is how horrible Bernie is. But they didn't talk for 2 days when their candidate endorsed Bernie or Biden when they could have endorsed Bernie because they weren't getting anything out of it. So they weren't going to endorse Bernie unless they got something out of it. But somehow they're better than Bernie. I don't think they are, Johnson. So Bernie endorsed Biden. I don't like it. I think Bernie should have stayed in the race all the way to the end of the convention. I had to say that every few seconds, every few minutes, because people will take me out of context. They'll get mad and leave and just, Tim was defending Bernie and he didn't. No, I'm not defending him. I'm not defending him. I'm telling you how I feel. He could defend himself. Bernie Sanders endorsed Biden today. I don't think he had much options. Either be the guy that got Trump elected or be the guy that got Trump elected. The end. Because no matter what happens, when Joe loses, which he is 85% sure to do, they're going to blame Bernie. Now, they're either 60% of the country is going to blame Bernie or 30% of the country is going to blame Bernie. Okay? That's how this looks for me. Bernie made the decision that he'd rather have it be 30%. Get it? He should have dropped out back in January. You know, he won 3 races in January. So, okay, thanks. He shouldn't have even ran. Him running is bad. He shouldn't have ran. He should have just let Biden just go. These people are idiots, man. You can't take them serious. They want what they want. We can't be like them. We should not be like them. They suck. So here's the thing. Bernie endorsed Biden. I don't like it. What will you do? Will this influence your decision to support Joe Biden tonight? I'm the one with the no Joe button on for a reason, because I'm still no Joe. Bernie Sanders may actually feel in his heart that Biden's a better person, a better president, a better leader than Trump. Does that make him a sellout? I don't know. I don't think it does. I don't think it makes him a sellout. It makes him, I wish you would have stayed in this race. Go to the convention. They've been cheating you all this time. They've been stabbing you in the back all this time. Make them stab you in the front, Bernie. Force them to stab you in the front. But I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to throw stuff. I'm not going to do that to boost my numbers. I don't want those types of fans. I don't want those types of supporters that want me to trash an 80-year-old man and call him names that I wouldn't call a man my size in real life. But some people think it's okay. I don't. I think it's cowardly. I wouldn't do it. But we're different. Where I come from, you don't call people names like that unless in person you would do the same thing. So, at the end of the day, I wish Bernie had done something different. I wish he would have fought this all the way to the end. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen. I think that Joe Biden has so much to do in order to win the vote of many of Bernie Sanders supporters. I don't think he has what it takes, Johnson, because I don't think people trust that Joe Biden will do. Even if Joe Biden came out tomorrow and said, I'm going to do Green New Deal, I'm going to do climate change reversals, I'm going to do end fracking, I'm going to legalize marijuana, I'm going to end mass incarceration, we're going to shut down the private prisons, we're going to go rooted to the truth, we're going to do it all. I'm going to have my hairy legs, we're going to come out there, we're going to put it back, put America back on, we're going to raise the minimum wage to $22 an hour. Even if he said all of that, I wouldn't believe he'd do it because he didn't run on any of that. We're going to do Medicare for all. I want universal health care for everybody. There's no reason why insurance coverage is a human right. If he started talking like that, who would believe him? Would you believe him, Johnson? Or would you think, you trying to fool me, man? There you go lying. Why? Because he hasn't run on it. He hasn't been talking about those issues. So if that's the case, guys, how can Joe Biden earn your vote? I don't know. You could step down and give Bernie the job. Then we'll vote. I'm serious, man. You think I'm joking? I mean, I find it hard to find a scenario where I support Joe Biden. Even if he adopts the policies, how can you trust a guy like that? That's when he says, well, meet me outside. Catch me outside. Catch me outside. We do some sit-ups and some push-ups. Catch me outside. You think I passed it? We meet me outside, man. We meet me outside then. Come on, let's go. Let's go outside. Let's do some push-ups, some sit-ups, fat. Let's go. Presidential material all the way around. He in presidential material. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, guys. I'm going to go to the comment section real quick. Thank you guys for watching on Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't forget, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. We do this many times a week, Johnson. Many times a week. You want me to vote for Joe? Well, have Joe give Bernie his job. Joe needs to endorse Bernie and get out the race. Dark Wings, thank you, Dark Wings. He says the Wolfpack needed you today. I need you too. We need each other. You know him as Matt. Bernie knows this is bigger than we think. I believe it is, Johnson. I believe it is. This is what I believe as well. That Bernie feels that way. Get it? Will, multiple truths exist at once. Sanders has done uniquely terrific humanistic things. Bernie folded under the immense pressure, and Bernie is a symbol of the us not me movement. Carlos Colon, this Johnson ain't voting for no Joe. Do we have Bernie as VP? No. Do we give back to charity farms or health money? No. Good luck. I feel you, Carlos. Marcus says, how can Bernie accept an endorsement from Tulsi if there were only 2 old white men left in the race for the final debate, according to Bernie? I don't know if I believe it, Johnson. Everyone needs read Mike Gravel's 80-page book, The Failure of Representative Government. I'm guessing that's how that is. And the solution, the people. And the people, we follow the directions there and get direct democracy. Mike Gravel, my bad. Mike Gravel. Damn. Mike Gravel endorsed Bernie. My bad, Mike Gravel. Damn it. Mike Gravel, Bill de Blasio, and Marianne Williamson, they all endorsed Bernie Sanders. Right? So look, guys, I love you. I see you tonight. We're going to do a Tim Black show at night tonight. Let's do that. Let's do it tonight. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come to the Tim Black show right here where you're watching right now. Later on tonight, we'll have that show. I got love for you guys. I'll see you soon. Keep your heads up. Keep your heads up. I know it's tough. I know it's tough, guys. Bernie is G Money. CMB. 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 Cash Money Brothers, man. Tough, man. Or either that or he's Wallace from The Wire. We us, man. We us. You ready? You us. They still stabbed him in the back, man. All right, man. You see what you got me doing here? Ramal. You made me pull out a Wallace reference from The Wire, man. You got New Jack City references. All right, guys, I got nothing but love for you. Thank you for being here. Bernie Sanders endorses Biden, and he breaks our hearts, Johnson. Not me, yes. Join the wolf pack.